Fellow Deluded Reds, welcome back to our show. Pramod and myself are so excited to host Nidhi Shankar, aka the
Thank
BoldMonk.
you.
Yes, Nidhi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me over.
Nidhi, you're an absolute role model. I think love our show, man. You're one of our favorite shows right now, at least for me. Thank you for
Yeah.
inspiring, but I'm so happy to have you here today. And yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much, dude. So first of all, I'm no role model. I'm just a Liverpool fan like the rest of y'all. I'm just expressing my opinions on YouTube. I mean, if people connect with that, I'm very happy. But make better role models. Yeah, I think you should try for better.
Conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won the fucking lot. But Paisley and Bill Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Ale, ale, ale.
So, Pramod, I have my own opinion on what we should do. But let's start with you first, and then let's pick Nidhi's brain. What are your thoughts about the midfield situation? Does Klopp have enough to see through the season?
I don't think we need another midfielder. Okay, because uh, honestly, I find it a very taxing thing. Okay, unless you go for someone like a Thiago or something. And I don't think that is in our long-term plan as well. Okay, so I don't think we are looking for extravagance. Okay, right now, what we are doing is we are going back to the basics. Okay, if the game against City has given me any insight, it is this: we're going back to the basics. We are sticking to that, and we are grooming the, whether you like it or not, we are grooming the Elliots and the Elliots and the Carvalhos. We are doing that. Okay, and we have enough, and we are being. I think there is a tinge of fearlessness to this. Okay, fearlessness and confidence to this, and I don't think that should be meddled with. There is already a lot of your Oxes and your the Curtis Jones. There are many, okay, who are sitting, वो फालतू में बैठे हुए हैं. But
हाँ
I
भाई,
think
hospital में.
no, but they're there. I mean, you know what? We've got it. We figured it out. Okay, it might seem a little cocky, but I think we don't need any midfielders. That's my opinion.
Nidhi, agree?
See, it is going to be a long answer, so bear with me.
Go on.
At the outset, look, if you ask me, will a midfielder improve this team? Yes, it will, right? But I think there are, two, three things at play here. Number one is, the kind of club we are. People should understand, and more of really Liverpool fans should understand that we don't sign a midfielder. We sign that midfielder, right? If you look at our buys across, all these years since the time Klopp has come, we are not looking to go okay. So here's the thing. Now we don't go and buy a midfielder. Okay, go and buy any midfielder that does midfieldy things. Okay, we look at players who fit, the kind of things we are expecting them to do, and then they are going to be here for a slightly, at least, a reasonable amount of time, right? Now the second thing is this. We can list down the options, right? And I'm going to start. I'll start with Fabinho because I think in terms of midfield, he's the first player that comes on the team sheet. Then you have Thiago. Then you have Henderson, and this is not a pecking order, by the way. I'm just remember. I think if there is a pecking order, the only one is Fabinho, right? And Thiago and Henderson, I would put in the same category. Navigator maybe a few notches below. Okay, I made this a pecking order, but anyway. So you have Fabinho, you have Thiago, you have Henderson, you have Navigator, right? Then you have just signed Fabio Carvalho, who by all means might play in the midfield. Harvey Elliott, who started in a lot of games, right? What are the options that you're looking to replace? Yes, you could argue that some of them are injury prone and all those things, but we're not going to sign a 19-year-old boy from Fulham and then say, okay, you know what, you're not going to play. He would say, I might have played in Fulham itself. I mean, they just got promoted. Why would I, come here and play? Of course, and I don't expect Fabio Carvalho to play week in, week out, but he's going to get his chances. Secondly, now any midfielder, the kind of midfielders that a lot of people are expecting for us to sign, and namely Jude Bellingham. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Yep.
Jude Bellingham is not going to come to Liverpool and be, an option, be a fourth or fifth choice midfielder. The names that I just named. So, for example, Thiago, Henderson, Naby, these guys are very well set in the team. I mean, Naby, we can have a longer discussion, but anyone who comes in has to, if you get a guy like Jude Bellingham, then you have to phase out one of these players. And I think for this season, I think we're going to see Jordan Henderson, his succession being planned. And I think we saw a little parts of it last season itself. And lastly, the goal here is not to sign a midfielder. It's sort of ties in with my first point. The goal is not here to sign a midfielder who's better than Oxlade-Chamberlain or James Milner. The idea here is to sign a midfielder who is going to be a part of the team for a long time to come, contribute massively to this team. I think we have identified our target. And I also feel that, Klopp knows that we need a midfielder, because we were in for Tchouaméni. We were, till he decided to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Right? So we do need one, but who is it going to be? When is that player going to be available? And I'm sure we'll address that during this podcast as well. So that's my answer. It's a slightly more complicated answer than a yes or no. But I don't think we are deficit, which is what seems to be the opinion of a lot of people. I don't agree with that.
Absolutely. So I don't think we are in desperate need for super signing right now. Definitely not a Matthias Nunes or a Jude Bellingham, like you said, or even a Fofana or someone from Leicester, right? What I really want though, I'm 100% sure that what we have right now is not enough because of the history that we have with midfielders getting injured, right? So I would love to have Gini back at least for a season. Okay, I'm pretty sure a lot of Reds are gonna probably, at least the Reds on social media are gonna hate that. But I don't know. I think he's a perfect solution. We need to hold this piece together. See, Ox and Keita both are on their contract, which is I think the last final year in their contracts. I'm pretty sure one of them is leaving. And if Bellingham or if a big money signing comes in next season, I think he's someone who's going to fight for the spot, the starting spot, right? Just like how Nunes is not coming in as a backup. He's coming in to fight Firmino. So the question is, whom is Bellingham going to fight? Is he going to fight the Hendersons or the Thiagos or the Milners or what? Because potentially Milner or Keita or Ox, at least two of the three will be leaving, right? We have Jones who will eventually come into who will start as a substitute, become a regular that way off the bench. But yeah, that's where I think things are going. And I think Gini is just a perfect solution here. I don't know why people don't really feel the same. So yeah, guys, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Will Genie come? I don't mind having Genie. He was such a nice workhorse. It's nice. I mean, first of all, let's bury this whole Bellingham thing and all. I don't think we need to, dream that high and all that. Not gonna happen. Like,
it's not about dreaming high. It's not about dreaming high. It's just I think we are genuinely interested in Jude Bellingham. I think that Jude Bellingham is interested in us, but Dortmund aren't going to let Haaland and Bellingham both go in one window. And I think that there is some interest. Of course, I'm not clairvoyant. I don't see the future, But I do think that because when Klopp was asked about Jude Bellingham, he said the problem is that this player is not on the market. He's very cleverly said that, right? When Jude Bellingham was asked in a recent interview, he said, "Money is not all that to me," because the context before was that, oh, Liverpool won't pay that kind of wages, and we won't, right? So I think there is genuine
We
interest
won't.
from both sides, and I think it is not aiming too high. I just think it's a matter of timing.
Hmm.
That's what I feel.
Right.
Um,
You know what makes me feel that we're not going to go for that is Aj we 1-1 when the result was 1-1 with City. We brought in Milner, we brought in like there is this tinge of like going back to basics. Okay. Because see, we have actually he has altered the playing style of Fabinho. It seems that way. I know it's just one game. Okay, I'll calm my tits, but it feels like he's altered the playing style of Fabinho a little bit. He was not this last season. Okay, he was this last to last season. Okay, we have done some tinkering over there. Okay, which shows confidence that, dude, you know what, we are fine. Okay, we are gonna have these players for 2 more years. Okay, Henderson grooming that he told that could happen. Okay, for that I still think we have our Elliots and Curtis Jones and Cavallios to really fill in the shoes. Okay, because if I'm in this position, like if I'm in the in the staff, I'd be thinking, why am I going for a midfield? Like I can manage even with an injury.
yeah, I mean, the only thing that I think we don't have enough stock is that hard-hitting midfielder. Fabinho and his
Pace
tackles
and
are like
power.
just yeah,
Pace and
तो
power.
बनाओ ना
pace and
तो
power.
बनाओ ना हार्ड हिटिंग मिडफील्डर्स
So
बनाओ वही तो हम
Tyler
करते आ
Morton
रहे हैं
is
दैट्स व्हाट वी डू
right. I think Tyler Morton is kind of getting groomed to be that number six, but I think he's still a couple of years away. Physically, he's very slim, very. I don't think he's up to the EPL physicality level.
He's just joined Blackburn on loan, by the way. Today it got announced.
okay
Ah,
loan that's good thing we are preparing
That's
him
it.
for that so I
That's
I don't see like there is again this whole Kita thing. Okay, so Kita is on his last year. This is his last year of contract.
season.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I so it'll be kind of a make or break season for him.
And for Ox
Hmm.
too, like okay, between the two, who would you rather keep and who would you keep and who would you go let go?
I'd Fox. I'd keep
Keep
Fox.
Ox. Okay, surprising.
No,
Nidhi?
so there
I'd
is one
keep
more
Fox.
option that not a lot of people talk about, and that is Curtis Jones. So I really don't know, the hate that Curtis Jones gets. There's a I don't know, maybe people dislike him because he's cows or something. I really don't know what is the problem here, because see, if you look at Curtis Jones, the kind of player he is, Curtis Jones is a player that he is a ball carrier, and when you look at the kind of players those, and I'm not here comparing Curtis Jones to any of the legends that I might name in the conversation, but if you look at those kind of players, they hold up they hold on to the ball till they attract a certain number of defenders. They and opens up space in front of them where your runners can run in. So when Trent is playing on the right position, Salah, Trent, and those players can run into those spaces, and this guy has defenders on him which he can use. That skill takes time to develop more than, let's say, a skill which is pace based, or dribbling, uh, or shooting. That's a complicated skill to develop. The guy is just 21 years old. I really like Curtis Jones. If you look at his numbers, they all stack up, except maybe, I don't know, I don't think he's that good in tackle, but that's not that's not his skill set. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you look at Pirlo in his early years, and again, just a disclaimer, I'm not comparing Curtis Jones to Andrea Pirlo. If you look at him in his early years, there were similar complaints that, okay, he gives out the ball too easily, and that's where you saw Curtis. That's when you saw Pirlo being let go by, I think it was Juventus or something, right? And then he ended up
Parma or
there later.
Lazio? I think
Parma, sorry, right? So that's where you see all that happen again and again. This skill takes time to develop. He's just 21 years old. He will develop into a very good player. Having said so, I think this season is critical for him because look, the competition around him in his age group is also intense. You have Harvey Elliott, who started playing really well. He was sort of becoming the one of the first names on the team sheet, right? Then you have um, then you have Fabio Carvalho, of course, who's come in. So this whole discussion about him slowing down the play is dumb because he's not slowing down the play. He's just a different kind of midfielder than for example, take the ball, turnover position, and then be available for the second pass. No, that's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to open space for, let's say, a Luis Diaz or a Salah or a Trent or even Robbo. That's what he's trying to do. So, and again, this is not to say that Curtis Jones is a perfect product. I think there are a lot of areas in his game that need improvement, shooting, and I think he needs to work on a little bit on his tackling as well, winning the ball back, those things. But he is an option, and I don't like how Curtis Jones is written off, especially by our own fan base.
See, the thing
I
with
never.
yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree with him actually. Curtis Jones, a very different kind of a player. Okay, granted, lot of holes to fill, but that's what we have been doing. That's what we keep doing. I mean, history of our club is such. We have developed players like this, and he can be useful. Yeah, you go on, Abhi.
yeah. So agree there also that Curtis is very important because not just because he's he's an homegrown player. He comes into that quota. You have one extra player in that in your 25 list. These are basic things, okay. But besides that, what I really actually was very disappointed about Curtis Jones is that he's a little too casual in giving the ball away, okay, and he doesn't have that sense of when and which place to take that risk. I think he made that one mistake last year against Spurs, and yeah, it was a goal. I think he did a similar move against someone in a cup competition, and then I think again it became a goal. I think it was a Leicester game where the 5-4 one, right? That's my only complaint. I hope, see, there is a learning curve which pretty much every player goes through, okay? And I think the season is really that season where he has to show that he's learned from those mistakes. I'll be happy to see
Exactly.
more mistakes, new mistakes, different mistakes, but I don't want to see the same things that we've seen. I don't want that carry saga with Jones all over again. I think, and why I'm actually not very optimistic with Jones is our history in the last, I would say, a decade, right? At Liverpool, all the midfielders we thought are really, really promising. None of them have actually made it past, I think, championship level. Jordan Resistier, Jay Spearing, just to name a few, right? I think probably post this Gerrard era, right? Conor Cody is the only other Scouser who has established himself in the Premier League. So,
Trent.
yeah, that is more recently, but I'm specifically talking about midfielders. So yeah,
See, Conor Cody plays as a centre back. I mean, of course, he started as a but again, I totally agree with your points. However, on the Gini point, look, I am one of those people that love Gini. I would like to call myself a Gini fan because I think what he did for the club flew under the radar quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I think his time as a Liverpool player is over, right? And I just don't see Gini Wijnaldum happening now. Personally, I feel that we've moved on from Gini and he's moved on from us. Roma is the name that is being thrown in the hat, and I would like to see that happen. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. But what are your thoughts on Aour? Hosam Aour? This guy was year after year, he was linked with us. But yeah, it looks like every time as the window opens, it just dies down. We get linked with new names.
Pramod, would you like to go ahead?
I have no idea about this player. I absolutely have no idea this player. So
you're still a Liverpool fan, right? How come you don't know that?
I have absolutely no idea. Maybe you will have to take over this.
We friends
Yeah,
with the
see,
guy from Leon.
Aour, Hussein Aour's problem is that there was hype, but then his last season, with um, in the Champions League and in the French league was not that good, right? And I think that Aour is probably, I think that the kind of player, the kind of attributes that he brings. I don't think that pace and power, which is, like I said, that is something that we are perhaps looking to add to the team, or maybe a bit of trickery. Trickery, yes, Aour is that tricky player, but I think that his form didn't help his cause. Uh, Having said so, I think he's a very talented player, but I have not seen any credible sources linking him to us.
I'm not sure about the journalists who did throw the rumors, but
Yeah.
pretty strong it was over the last couple of years. And the thing with Aour is, right, yeah, like you said, he's not all pace and power, but the technicality.
Mhm.
Uh, I really love watching just the YouTube videos. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's the French league, the Farmers League, whatever. That trickery that just happens, just making a fool out of the opponents, right? Just showing them left and going right. I see a lot of Thiago in him. Okay, I
Mhm.
actually also saw a lot of Gini in him, and I was under the impression that he probably would be at Liverpool by the starting of 2021-22 season, right? Last season, but well, that didn't happen. I thought, okay,
Yeah.
maybe now was the right time, but it became very apparent that Bellingham is the obvious choice now. So yeah,
Right.
uh, very unfortunate, but yeah, brilliant player. Um,
Hmm.
love that guy. But see, besides these guys, okay, so we've spoken about Ox, we've spoken about Carvalho, and there is this one thing about Elliot, right? So I don't want to be pessimistic here, but
Mm.
what I actually saw from Elliot against City and in a couple of preseason games is that he probably needs a lot more time to build his physicality. Otherwise, what happened last season is just going to happen again. He's very easy to push over.
Yeah.
I think his pace didn't really help. Like Rodri and Cancelo could easily catch up to him. Actually, they didn't need pace to catch up. They could just
It,
physically just chip in there.
it's his positioning. It's his positioning. That's where he's good. Elliot's positioning is why he's picked again and again. Okay, he debuted against Chelsea, and this is a good-looking freaking Chelsea. Okay, the confidence shown in him is good only because of that. It's not about his pace. Okay, and there have been a few changes tactically. Okay, this season we're going to see some of that. Okay, we saw Trent as a wide midfielder. Okay, he's an RB, सबको पता है, but he overlaps as a wide midfielder and then he goes. I saw Trent as a wide midfielder to a attacking midfielder's position, and those kind of little changes. And the thing is, the game is going narrow. The
Mm,
strategy is going narrow.
that's a
Okay,
good
so
point.
instead of Trent going this way, it's Trent coming this way. Like from where Trent got his goal. Okay, he often never stay puts himself in that position. Okay, that's because the game is tweaked. Okay,
I think
now
it's
these are the tweaks that
right.
uh, fearlessly he's making. Okay, and that's what I like. And Elliot, it's his positioning. Okay, you see, some people don't need the pace. Okay, you will get the pace from your Diaz and all, bro. You'll get the pace from your Diaz and your raw pace from your Nunes or whatever. I mean, I could do with a little bit of finesse from Nunes. Okay, or from what I saw. I am basing this all heavily on just one game, but I think I got a good hunch about how where we are gonna go. It's not gonna be flashy. Nothing is gonna be flashy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all gonna back to the drawing board. It's gonna be simple tweaks in tactical tweaks. Okay, this
Yeah.
is where Klopp's tactically Klopp seem a lot of people don't rate him high tactically. I don't know why that is. He's a fucking genius when it comes to making changes, slight changes.
Slightly, yeah,
You
but I think
you
that the
don't
system always
you
outweighs
don't
this.
stay at the top. You don't stay at the top level in football without knowing your tactics. I mean, that's just an extremely casual observation to make, whoever says that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But then the thing is, Klopp's tactics are not his most strongest skill. I think the way he prepares the team for the game, right? The way he drills them uh, with the movements to make, the triangles to follow. I think that always is an outweighing factor than the slight tactics he does. Yeah, uh, I don't have. So there are very few instances of him doing a Mourinho or a Pep type change. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just my observation.
Look, Klopp, see the Klopp's biggest strength is, of course, his ability to motivate a player to play beyond his capabilities. But I think tactics wise, there have been a lot of games, there have been a lot of examples where Klopp has made the perfect substitute. He's set up the team perfectly. He's set up a particular a particular set piece perfectly in a game which is difficult to break down. So I think Klopp is fantastic when it comes to tactics, but he's got other skills which he's better at. I mean, we can do a much longer episode and talk about Klopp. I mean, this would be 2 hours long if we start talking about Klopp. But yeah, I think we have to give credit for his tactics as well.
Nidhi, while I got you here for that, there are a lot of fans who want Firmino to play in as an attacking mid. Okay, what do you think of that?
See, Firmino can definitely play as an attacking mid, but we should want to play with an attacking midfielder, right? See, what is going to be interesting in this particular season is that Klopp has never bought a number 9. Even when he had Sturridge, he never played as a number 9, right? So it will be interesting to see what Trent does now, what Robbo does now. How does the role of Salah change? Because I think it is a part of a succession planning, because Salah is also getting older, and we won't see it this season, according to me. But Salah is going to be not going to be able to make those run-ins behind and be available for that through ball all the time, because he will be honest with himself in terms of his physical abilities as well. And I think gradually we will see Salah conserving his energy, trying to get other guys to play, and then being that guy. But I deviate. To answer your question about Firmino, I think he can definitely play as an attacking midfielder. But I don't think we will play with an attacking midfielder, because I think that transition is a little too drastic. You're talking about the whole 4-2-3-1, right? If it's a 4-2-3-1, I could see Firmino in that number 10 role. But I think for whatever we've seen of the preseason and the Community Shield, I think we are going with a 4-3-3, slightly tweaked. For example, the whole point you mentioned about Trent playing as a attacking midfielder in attacking transitions. Of course, he's not going to midfield, but during attacking transitions, he sort of drifts in, frees up space, and Henderson goes wide. That kind of things. Though that I think we will see more of it this season.
Right.
Right. So I think in terms of a midfielder, I think that we will see a midfielder in this team very soon. My money is on next season, early next season, just before the transfer window or just after the transfer window starts, we will sign, because we like to sign our targets early as well, in an ideal situation. I do think a midfielder would improve this team, but I think a lot of people are sort of not putting enough faith, and that's okay, that's their opinion, and are not putting enough faith on the options that we have. That's my assessment of this entire situation. I personally feel this is a big season for Curtis Jones. I expect him to do well, but then if he doesn't, then he's still very young though, so that's one advantage on his side. But it's a crucial season for him. Harvey Elliott, we are going to see a lot. Fabio Carvalho, I think, will be eased into the team as Klopp does with his new signings. Milner is anyway, I think, an option that is there for a certain situations in a certain kind of a game. Henderson, we will see his succession being planned this season, according to me.
Hmm.
That's what I think about the midfield situation as such.
Right.
Milner is like that meme, no? That वो tape लगाता है ना, पानी leak हो रहा है, वो
Yeah.
tape लगाता है ऐसे. Milner is literally that for
Tasty.
like 4 seasons now.
यार वो यार वो कम्युनिटी शील्ड में खेला, उसको स्ट्रासबर्ग के साथ भी खिला दिया. मतलब आई रियली मैन लाइक
यार उसे पेंशन फंड वगैरह दे दो यार, मतलब क्या कर रहे हो, like you are like literally abusing that guy. See,
Miller is amazing.
well to conclude, no, I would say that we're gonna have an a new Fabinho. Okay, this season we're gonna have a new Fabinho. We're gonna see a supplying Fabinho. Okay, and yes, we have the 5 sub rule now, right?
Right.
Yeah, we do.
So of course, so we're gonna see a lot of Harvey Elliott's. We're gonna see a lot of Carvalho. So
So,
this is
Pramod,
I don't.
before you talk about that, since you were at the new Fabinho, what was your take on Stephen Bajetic? I'm sorry, we totally forgot about that kid. That kid was just unreal, dude. The first 2, 3 games that I saw him. I mean, yeah, the opposition were minnows, but that kid was
Mm,
I
good.
think I think it's a little too early for him. I think that
Yeah.
he's going to continue playing in the under 17 level, maybe a few cup games. But
mm,
see, the thing is, you don't want to expose these kids to. We all saw what happened with Nunes after a preseason. I mean, and it led to Klopp saying, okay, these young players should not have social media accounts, right? Whether
mm.
we
Oh,
can't just brush it aside. It's a reality, right? And I'm not saying that we should be scared and every young player should not play purely because of social media, but I think we have a lot of options ahead of
right.
Biotech ahead, and I think he should
Mm.
continue his development at the level where he is, and then when he's ready, then of course he's going to get a chance.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids as it is. Okay, so we can hold our horses regarding that. But
You
yes,
love that, don't
new
you?
food. Yeah, right. We are back taking shots, are we? So yeah, new Fabinho, Harvey Elliott. So not this season. No new midfielder needed this season. Maybe next season, provided you do some unloading. There's a lot of unloading to do. As things stand, I feel that neither Ox or nor Keita, neither of them would be given an extension. Okay, like the way things stand. So if that's happened, fine. You can go to the market and buy yourself some you
I
know
think
good young
I
ones.
think Keita is getting an extension, and I am in favor of that.
Yeah. Because I think, yeah, more than Ox, I think Keita, at least his role is more defined within the squad.
Yeah.
Ox, we still don't know if he's a right winger for us or if he's an attacking.
Dude, I love Ox, but the injury just it just changed him. He's
So
not the same player anymore. You
you
don't
know what?
see Ox. I mean, we won the FA Cup. He was nowhere to be seen. I
Yeah.
mean, he did come on later and all that. I know, but it just feels that personally, I think if we had received a big enough offer, we might even have considered moving Ox on. And
Yeah.
now again, he's out for what, like 3 months.
Hmm.
He's great, but his injuries are just extremely unfortunate.
That
You know,
hamstring injury is
maybe
3 months, is it? Okay.
Apparently, it's a long injury.
Mm.
you know what's a funny thing? We are talking about we don't know what's his position. You Arsenal fans used to say the same thing. Like वेंगर वो 6-7 साल से यही प्रॉब्लम है उसको. वो वेंगर उसको 7-8 पोजीशन में हिला चुका है. And he was confused there. He's confused here. Bichara, I don't know. I hope he has good luck wherever he
Yeah.
goes after.
I actually heard a very similar point. I think in one of the other podcasts, I think uh, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name. Right. I think the Redman TV. They had this point about Ox. Okay. Under Wenger, he played for almost 7 years. Okay. Under Klopp, he's played for almost 6 years. He's run through his entire contract. these are two of the greatest managers to have ever graced Premier League, okay? And neither of them
Mhm.
have been able to get the best out of Ox. That's the most unfortunate thing about the 40 million investment. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is
Right.
really
True.
sad that neither of them could get the best. I don't know if it was one manager who couldn't get the best, then yeah, maybe he moved him on, and maybe you can not blame the player as such. But yeah, here it's just a little beyond unfortunate.
Hmm. Unfortunate
Right.
circumstances, that's all.
I think it's not meant to
It
be.
it it feels like you are putting the blame on him in a very nice way. But I'll be a little lenient to him. I mean, injuries, vagera, it didn't work out well for him. So I wish him good luck wherever he goes.
Bro, he's still here. He's only going to the hospital. He's only going to the the physio's room. So yeah,
He's gonna need a lot of good luck there though.
Oh, yeah,
very much true.
right. So,
So yeah,
your
guys.
points to conclude, man.
Yeah. So that's a wrap, guys. Thank you. It was great talking to both of you. And to all the deluded folks still listening in, thank you loads. Subscribe to our channel and do share this podcast with other people, your friends,
Mm,
and
mm.
help
Hit
us
the
to
like
still.
button. Hit the like
Yeah.
button.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Hit the like
yes. Please hit the like button and also subscribe to Menace and the Monk.
Absolutely.
Nidhi here is a real fucking
Thank
rock
you.
star, and they keep churning out episodes, week in week out. I think they do twice a week. Okay, so Nidhi, really, really, really glad that you could make it here. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you. Thank you so much.